How many of you guys remember Wave Race 64 for Nintendo 64? Oh my god, this game brings back so much memories. I think a lot of us, or at least myself, this was one of the first games that a lot of us seen or played on the console for the first time. And this was a big step up from, Super Nintendo to Nintendo 64. The graphics at that time were just stunning. Oh my god, look at the graphics in this now and remember it in your head when you actually played this game. I'm sure if you're like me, you remember this being the best graphics you've ever seen in your life, and it was jaw-dropping just looking at that water. It was just jaw-dropping. You would sit there and look at that water for hours and play on this game. This was a great multiplayer game too. I used to play it with my brother and his friends and stuff, and we'd have matches. There wasn't too much depth to this game though. It was fairly simple like once you got the hang of it, but it was a good initial start to the N64 system. And I'm almost thinking this might have been like a console release game, or a game that was released with the console. In my memory, I'm not sure why, but a lot of people played this game first. And I think maybe they used it for advertising the N64 or something along those lines. All I know is this was one of the first games I played, and as well with my friends. Everybody knew this game, and it was one of the first big games for Nintendo 64. It was really game-changing too. Like, we never seen anything to this extent before until Wave Race essentially came out for N64, so it was really revolutionary. The graphics were revolutionary. The gameplay, not so much, but the graphics and the setting, and it just brought you into that, magical Baywatch. I want to say Baywatch here, kind of a feel. Not really Baywatch, but it was just a really magical feeling. It was really nice to be immersed to this game at the time period. And you gotta understand, this was a time period where Sea-Doos were popular. They were really taking off. I want to say 1996. Don't quote me here. I know somebody will go and look this up, but it was, one of the first games that was released onto the console. Alright, and this was a time that Sea-Doos were really popular, Baywatch was really popular, and this game really, set a lot of standards for graphic-wise at least, for the Nintendo 64, and I think we all loved it for, a lot of those reasons. I think there was even arcade spin-offs of this. I remember going to the movie theater and playing a Sea-Doo game that you'd actually, be able to sit up on a Sea-Doo. And I don't think it was this game, but it was, very similar. And we all seen that in the arcades, I think, even prior probably to getting a Nintendo 64. Or at least, I did. You'd go to the arcade and you'd be able to play on, an arcade version of this. And I think it cost like $1 or $1 or $2 or something. It was pretty expensive to play it. The first time I played this game, I think I actually rented it with the console. There wasn't too much to choose from. I don't know how much there was, I don't really remember, but I remember getting this game and I was just blown away. I mean, look at this. Now looking at this game and you're looking at this graphics on this game, and it's like, wow, I thought this was like the best graphics ever, and it's kind of funny, right? I know a lot of you guys probably looking at this and thinking, shit, you think those graphics are good? Well, at that time, that's what a lot of people thought. Like, look at the water here, okay? Look at this water. It's like glass. That's literally what we thought. It was like, wow, this water is like glass. Look at how awesome this water is. And now when we see this, it's kind of funny looking back. And it's kind of sad, looking back at some of these games. These were memories of our childhood. I'm assuming a lot of you guys typed in Wave Race, and maybe some of you guys actually found my video, and you guys remember this game, so you guys want to see it. I doubt any newcomer that hasn't played this have seen this video, so I'm assuming you guys have all played this game. But this was a game we all remember, and was, stunning graphics. Like, look at this, and it was touchy controllers too. Do you guys remember how touchy these controls were? Like, when you were trying to figure out how to use the analog stick for the first time on the N64, and if you turned it a little too much on an angle, you would like spin out and trying to go in between these, I don't know, pylons or whatever you want to call them. It was really finicky. But now it's like, it's like nothing. It's like easy if you replay it, and it's like, it was so hard at the time period. Some points about this game, I wish it had more levels to it and more depth to it. Like, once you beat it on normal, then they put you to moderate and then hard or something along those lines. And there wasn't too much depth to the game itself, but it immersed you, into this cool world that was, just cool to be in at the time period. So yeah, this is like a let's talk, let's discuss, some of these old retro games. I'm reliving some of these memories with you guys because I know a lot of you guys are typing these games in just like I do. I type in an old school game every once in a while into YouTube because I get that feeling, that urge to maybe want to play it or just to look at it. And basically that's what this video is about, and I'm kind of have a series that I'm doing, and I'm doing this on a whole bunch of videos, so check those out. If you guys have watched the video this far, drop a like, because it really helps my channel out. It'll really help me out. This is how channels grow. And if you can, subscribe and watch some of my other videos, because if you like this, you're probably gonna love some of my other videos where I get into a lot of these other old school retro games and stuff.